my home run, because I never gave up on the dream and the vision of going for the fence. Thank you. So the end of the story is it hasn't ended yet. We lost some business after we got it, then went with a competitor, but I kept following up with these guys in Phoenix. So hopefully October, Mike and I are going back to Phoenix. Now they've kind of grown a little bit. They went from 67 to 200 locations. So we're going to go back and try and nail this sucker down again. So I've got a minute and 14 seconds for questions. Nobody? You guys did this last week too. You guys don't ask any questions. Ayelet.
What system do you use for the follow-up?
I use Contact Manager. It's a $10 a month app. It's not Salesforce, which is actually, I got Salesforce for $2 a month. Okay, I was using it for a while. It's just really kludgy and hard to use. Contact Hero is $10 a month, and there's a $10 app you buy one time for the iPhone. And that's the reason I went from the Android back to the iPhone, was this application. That and scan biz cards, which makes you bulletproof. If you meet somebody at a normal mixer and you get their business card, take a picture of it, and you can send an intro email to follow up and do a one-on-one with them by taking the picture of their business card on your phone. It makes you look like a real hero. So I use contacthero.com. Great app. It's easy to use. We can do a fireside chat and I can show anybody how to use it because it's on my iPad, my iPhone, and my laptop. Warren.
Yes, I was just curious. So what is your technique for overcoming the obstacles to, they don't know you, what do you do to gain their trust?
On the phone or in person?
In person.
Great question. Okay. So when I'm out cold calling, I try to use humor a lot. And it's all about James Bond and rapport, building rapport with them. You have to build rapport and make a friend. And if they like you, then they're going to let you pass the gatekeeper a little bit. But you have to make friends. Plus, you have to make friends with them. That's really huge. And I've done just a ton of cold calls. And if the energy is not right, if it sucks, you're done. So you have to make friends with Dino / the gatekeeper to get past her. Because her job. Basically, dentists will tell their gatekeepers, you let anybody into me and you're fired. Okay. Their job is to keep people out. Their job is to block. That's what Dino is trained in, and she's told that it's fear of her job, and that's why they put up those barriers to not let you in. So you just have to make them a friend. Go ahead.
Did you get the date with the chick with the Porsche?
No, but that's funny because what I got from that $113,000, I never even asked her out. No. Thanks for asking. Thank you. No, so the thing that the gods that I got from the $113,000 sale, got a trophy, got the shirt, single biggest deal in company history, $20,000 check for 4 phone calls and no other work. That was at $5,000 to call. And I ended up getting back to the hotel at 5:30 the next day after our celebration party. I almost missed the plane. So, there you go. It's no TMI, but it's okay. Great question. Anybody else? Yeah.
How do you keep yourself motivated? A lot of times, you know, you're chasing or you're following up, and you know, you get those periods where it just takes a lot of time to get in touch, or you know, you've got that second or third. So, I mean, what do you do? What activities do you do to keep yourself motivated?
That's a really great question. And sometimes it's 7 or 8 or 15 or 20 calls, like this guy yesterday. It's just.
What is the question?
Okay, thanks. So the question is, how do you keep yourself motivated? Like when you're trying to reach somebody and they're not getting back to you, and you get kind of bummed out. You just have to tell yourself that you're going to get there eventually. And keep it. But one thing I didn't go over because I don't have enough time is I wanted to explain to you what each phone call is worth. If you make $1,000 on a sale, and let's say it takes 100 calls to get 4 appointments, and I can close 1 in 4. So you get 3 or 4 appointments, and I can close 1 in 4. So the value of a phone call, if it takes 100 calls to get those 4 appointments, which beget the sale. Okay, what is that? What is that a call? In person or on the phone? It's $10 a call. Okay, you have to know your numbers. Not your numbers. You have to know your ratio. Your ratio is how many dials beget beget contacts, beget appointments, beget deals / sales. You have to know your numbers. So it took me 4 calls to get that $20,000 check. Are you kidding? Bring it on. I mean, I have a second phone number. Okay, you know, God gave you an extra 80 hours a month because you can call the East Coast. There's even after Eastern time, there's Nova Scotia time, which is a half hour later after Eastern time. You can call those knuckleheads if you do business across the country, okay? And then, okay, I have a second phone which has an 808 number. I can call Steve McGarrett in Dano at 6:30, it's still 3:30 there. They're 3 hours behind. Alaska's an hour behind. So at 5:30, you can still reach people at 4:30 in Anchorage or Fairbanks. It's just doing the numbers. It's just making a call. You just have to be motivated. Scotty.
Can you promote Tokyo next time instead of Nova Scotia?
I don't know. I'd have to look at my iPhone to know what the hours are. They're 16 hours ahead. Yeah. Thank you, David.
One thing that motivates me with the people that you're going to be able to, like you said, knowing your numbers, know your ratio.
Ratio. R-A-T-I-O. Know your ratio. Because numbers are not important, it's your ratio.
Your ratio is what's important. So if you said you close 1 out of 4, and when you get the first one, no, okay. The second one, no, great, I'm getting closer.
Yes.
My third, no, awesome. The next one's going to be a yes, because it's 1 out of 4.
Besides being an elephant hunter, okay, there's another kind of a hunter that we all are. Okay, we're no hunters. Okay, you have to, if you don't get enough no's, get back to work. I'm sorry, but okay, the only place that success comes before work is where?
Dictionary.
Thank you. Yeah. It doesn't, in real life, it isn't work, it isn't, you know, work and then success. Success comes before work. Only in the dictionary. You gotta make the calls, you gotta drop the dimes, you gotta see the people. I don't care what deal you're doing. Okay? Anybody else?
Can you explain a little bit more about the elephant hunter? I think.
Sure. Okay. All right. Elephant hunting is going after a really big, the question was, explain some more about elephant hunting. So elephant hunting is going after a really big deal, a really big person. So Les Brown is like, okay, for example, if I call up a car dealer and Michelle at XYZ Honda hasn't called me back even though she tells me to call her, and I just constantly call her, I've gone in and seen her 3 times, I sent her a shoe, okay, she probably flushed the shoe, okay, all right? So when I get her on the phone, I can say, you know what? Les Brown, who makes $125,000 an hour, returns my calls. Why won't you? What's up with that? Okay, so it's called posture. So elephant hunting gives you posture. It's like walking on fire, doing the Tony Robbins thing in 1994. If I can walk on fire, I can open up a door and walk into a car dealer and talk to the GM. But elephant hunting is going after a really big fish, a really big possibility. You have to do it. You have to. It's for your own self-esteem. And it's all about enthusiasm. One thing I was going to do at the beginning was, you know, have you guys all say, hi, good afternoon, Mr. Enthusiasm, which is me. And then I want you to hold up your hand like it's a mirror and say to yourself, hi, Mr. and Ms. Enthusiasm. Because if you increase your enthusiasm, your sales will go up 3 times. Okay, and there's a book I want you to all go out and invest $18.52. Okay, Sashi turned me on to it. I don't want to say it's my Bible, but it's close because I don't want to say that. But to me, it's called How I Rose from Failure to Success in Sales by Frank Bettger, B-E-T-T-G-E-R. Oh my God, this thing will make your head explode. And if you don't get $1,000 out of the book in sales revenue or whatever, I'll buy the darn thing from you and I'll give it to somebody else. Because I've been reading books like forever since, you know, Buddha was a busboy. I mean, and Jim Rohn, I finally met Jim Rohn in 1991 after listening to the guy for 30 years in the car. I finally met him, and here's a great line, and I'll shut up because I'm not getting the look yet, but I better go. So I was selling pagers in 1991. Back, you guys remember pagers, which was killed by cell phones? All right, so I was at the LeBaron Hotel, which is now the Holiday Inn at First Street in 880. I was on the 9th floor, and Jim Rohn was speaking. There was like, you know, it was like a third of this room. There was like 21 people in there. So Jimbo's up there, and he's speaking. He's crushing it. We have an earthquake. And so, you know, Jim's from Santa Barbara or something, and he didn't miss a beat. earthquake, and Jimbo says, I guess I can still move a room. So, I'm out of here. Hey, so don't leave the podium empty. You got to take me off the stage.